Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dami. As always, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm a Nigerian based in Brisbane, Australia, and I moved here in 2019 with my family of 4, and it's been an amazing ride. If you're not following me on Instagram, then you missed the memo, but I was generous enough to also put up a community post tag where I said people should ask me any question. I will do one sit down video and answer all your questions, and that's what we're going to be addressing today. I'm going to be starting with the questions from Instagram before we dive into the ones on the YouTube community post. So make sure you relax, sit down, and keep watching. I think I need my glasses at this point. I can barely see anything on my phone without my glasses. So yes, that is secured. Let's get right into it. So the first question I have here is quite interesting, and the question is, did you always want 2 kids? The answer is yes. That's the simple answer. We always wanted 2 kids. We're not big on maybe it was a boy, 2 boys, 2 girls. To God be the glory, God gave us 1 boy, 1 girl. So it was very like, we are done because he kept our as Yoruba people will say. So yes, we always wanted 2 kids from our marital counseling sessions till dates. Like, it's been 2 kids and we're done. That is closed. Anyways, the next question says, does the Australian government pay like monthly money for a single parent to children as an immigrant? If you're on a temporary visa, you don't get any benefit as a single parent, but if you're permanent residents or citizens, they do make payments which they call Centrelink and different sort of things. I don't know much, but yes, there are benefits you get if you're a single parent and your income is below a certain threshold. An immigrant, if you become a permanent resident or a citizen, definitely there's something the government will support you with. The next question is, could you please give me an insight about Australia immigration process? Really? Are you new to my page? I'm going to put some videos here and in the comment section that would help you with that question. That is such a broad question that I cannot answer in this one video. The next one says, please can you also talk about work-life balance in Australia? I'm relocating soon. With this one also, I filmed a video recently which I believe is up by now. I will also link it here. But with work-life balance, what I would say in summary is planning is very important. And then if you're coming, I don't know if you're coming as a single person or if you're coming with family, it's just proper planning and knowing when to stop work and face your personal life. Australians love their vacations, they love their leave, so you need to also imbibe that culture and live the African mentality. From your name, I know you're Nigerian, so make sure you leave the workaholic, overworking mindset you have in Nigeria, leave it behind and come here and enjoy your life. Just make sure that once it's time for work, you put in your 100, so that once it's time for you to be at home, you also take your 100, which balances everything out. Once you're in the office, you know you're in the office. And by the time you do what you're meant to do between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. or whatever your work schedule is, I'm sure nobody will hold you ransom to work in the middle of the night or do some crazy hours. So, and then if you're doing a job that is not like a 9 to 5 and you determine the hours you want to work, obviously pick your shift to suit what you want, what you need, and what works for you. So work-life balance exists. It just depends on how you want to navigate it yourself. So work-life balance exists. There's a lot you need to do as a person to ensure that you get that balance. I'll leave it at that. The next question is it easy for one's dependent to get a job in Australia? To be honest, my straight answer for this would be no. And reason being that as a new immigrant, getting a job can be very daunting because most people want someone who has Australian experience, whereas most of us don't have that by the time we come here. So until you find that employer who is willing to give you the first experience, Australian experience, sometimes it does not even have to be in the role you're actually looking for. You just need one person to trust you, offer you a job, and from there is usually a smoother transition. But in saying that, depending on the type of job you're looking for, there are blue collar jobs you can start with. But with white collar jobs, if you have the right experience as well, you might be fortunate. Like, there are few people who are fortunate, but it's not the easiest journey. I'm going to be lying to you to say, oh yes, you'll definitely find a job. There are jobs, but the requirements sometimes are things we don't have. But of course, when the God factor is involved, it changes everything. That's just the best way I can summarize that answer. The next one, how do you grow your girl's hair? Boy, oh boy, I don't do nothing to that hair. I just put cream and whatever I can do once in a while. And I even use hot hair, like, you know, people always like, don't use heat on it. Don't you? I use heat if it's too hard and I need to do something fast. I use heat. I don't do anything serious. That's the short and long form. I just do what I need to do. To be honest, I don't do anything serious to the hair. I just make her hair in the little way I can. There's really nothing special that I can say, because for instance with shampoo, I just buy any random shampoo that is cheap. Most times from Howdy, once Howdy brings a shampoo and it's cheap, I grab it. So that's it. I don't do anything special, honestly. But the only thing is I try to do protective styles that will stay for a long time so that we're not combing. So by the time you comb too much, of course it will fall off. So I try to put it in protective styles most of the times, like braids or just something that will last her long. Because even for me, apart from even so that the hair doesn't fall off or cut, it's just because it saves me time as well. Making fussy hair, maintaining fussy hair is a lot of work. So yeah, that's how I maintain her hair, and I do it myself. Sometimes I also seek for help, but majority of the time I do it myself. The next question says, when the kids are on school breaks, I understand that you and your husband are most likely working full-time. So I guess the question is, what do we do with kids when they're on school break? When they're on school break, you usually have vacation care. So you book them for vacation care, which is quite pricey. So most parents in Australia, what they do is they try to take vacation when their kids are also on school holiday to save the cost. So that's what a few people do. I do it once in a while, but of course there are 4 school term holidays in Australia. I can't take holiday 4 times in a year, and they are usually 2 weeks each. So by the time you look, that's 8 weeks, and I think I'm just entitled to 4 weeks leave in a year. So it just depends on how you want to work it. Either your husband takes leave when they're on this holiday, and like you alternate it between yourself, but there's an option for vacation care which they go to and you pay for it. And there are different types of vacation care. There are some organizations within the school that run vacation care, and there are some external parties such as YMCA. There are all sorts of things. Even they can actually do some programs, maybe robotics and stuff during that time. I know there's also gymnastics school holiday. So whatever it is, you can just sign the kids up for during that period of time. But 4 holidays in a year is not easy to manage your calendar around that. Next question says, what suburbs are family friendly and with good primary schools in Brisbane? Moving over soon. To be honest, I did not even do this research myself, so I cannot answer that question. Maybe Google would be able to help you. Sorry about that. But to be honest, I don't know. Most areas are safe here. The only place I'm not an advocate for, and I'm not saying you should not live there, do your research and see. But because of the crime rates and precedents of this particular place is Logan Central. One, that's why it's a very rough environment. I would not want my kids to go to school in that place. Logan Central, Woodridge, you know, those areas. If you live in Brisbane, you know what I'm talking about. So that's that. Also up north, not because there's anything, so I'm saying not Brisbane now, but it is not like, if you're looking for where your kids will meet other kids of color, maybe you should come to South Brisbane. But I cannot tell you particular suburb. You need to do that research yourself to know what you're looking for. And in terms of school, most of the schools here are amazing, so really up to you to check that out. So now let's go to the questions on YouTube. The first one says, what's the weather in Australia like? Because I've read about how hot it could get, and that discouraged me from even considering it. Nigeria is hot, and going to experience another heat outside the country is disturbing. I can't believe what I just read. I cannot believe it. It's like, how do we do our research and get to this point? There are many things that I've read here as a Nigerian immigrant living in Australia that I'm like, none of this even came into play when I was planning to move to Australia. Like, I did not see this news. One, for instance, the old snake story. I got to Australia before I started seeing if people think the Australia is filled with snake. Now somebody is talking about the heat. Australia is hot. So if that's a reason for you not to come, I don't know. It can be hot in summer. It can be very hot. So I'll leave that decision to you because I'm speechless, honestly. Oh, somebody actually replied and said it can get up to 40 degrees, but there are air conditioners everywhere, and there are some states that have a colder climate than others. Generally, it's a hot country, which is a perfect answer. It is a hot country Queensland is, I think, the hottest of all Australian states and territories. But if you're looking for somewhere that is cold, maybe try Canada. Or if Australia is still the dream country, try Melbourne or Tasmania. I hope that answers your question. The next question on my community page says, good day ma, please, I would like to know about the floods in Brisbane. Does it affect where you live? No. Best believe if any flood have affected where I live, I would have put it up here. I'm all about sharing my experience and what life looks like for me in Australia. I know the news always projects the bad things, but it's not as crazy as you think it is. It happens in certain area. That's why it's important before you buy a property in Australia, do your research, because these are some of the things you need to know. Check that the area is not flood prone or is not a uphill side of kind of environment. But anyways, no, I've never been affected by flood. Sometimes you have to restrict. I remember there was a flood, was it 2 years ago, that even the old city was a bit affected and we could not go into the office. But nothing crazy, to be honest, has happened to me. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Flood happens, but it hasn't affected me or anyone I know personally that I can share their experience. But again, it just affects a few, because everybody too is now careful. People are putting in precaution, and the government themselves are doing everything possible to avoid such future occurrence of flood. So I think that answers that question. Another one says, good day ma, what do you think about the job opportunities for health workers in Australia? As a student studying nutrition and dietitian, is it possible to get a job after my program from Nigeria? Or is it more advisable to come for my master's degree first? Let me answer one by one. What do you think about the job opportunities for health workers in Australia? There are a lot of job opportunities for health workers in Australia because they are always in demand, be it nurses, be it doctors. But remember, you can't study any of those courses and come to Australia and practice directly. There are lots of things you have to do for you to be able to practice in Australia. For instance, if you're a nurse, you need to take APRA, you need to be on APRA board, and there are just a lot of things. If you're a doctor, I don't know what qualification exam or process you need to take, but there are also requirements for you to be able to practice with your Nigerian certificates and experience here in Australia. So if you have the means, I would advise that you come for your master's degree, but just weigh your options, do your research. I am not in health sector, so I don't really know much, but I'll just say do your research. The master's might be the easiest route, but yeah, that's just what I think personally. That's my personal opinion. And then your next question, I think I've addressed that. Thank you for sharing what life is like in Australia with us through your lens. Thank you. I would definitely keep at it. Thank you. The next question says, Dami, I wish you knew how much an inspiration you are to me. Oh wow, thank you. Okay, let's read on. Jeez, this is a long one. Whenever I feel like giving up on my Australian dream, I think of your videos and how God did it through for you. An economist in Africa. However, I made a huge career mistake because I love accounting. Watching you made me start studying towards my accounting qualification, get experience, and try moving there as an auditor because I realized there are ones in demand in all states. And you can imagine my age, 36. Yet, I believe God will show His glory through me and see me through, because with Him, age hints nothing, and for sure, with God, age is nothing. I keep my faith to yours, and God will perfect that which you want for you, in Jesus' name. I believe if I work hard towards my dream job and keep on praying, it will come through. Though my plan would take about 6 years before I can apply for PR, encouraged every day that I'm making a right decision. Your videos encourage me so much. So my question is, one thing I'm just going to say before I get into your main questions is the fact that thank you for all the kind words. But one thing I'm just going to say is, if you're 36 now and your current plan is going to take you 5 years, Australians, for most PR, there are other PRs that are not with age limit of 45, and I think I've done a video about this in the past. So make sure you do your research very well, that you have a visa route, because by the time you had 5 to 36, that is about 41 years you would be by the time you're finished with whatever your current plan is. Bear in mind, will this opportunity still be there? So I don't want you to like tie yourself down to just explore other opportunities, explore other visa routes as well. You know what I mean? I don't want you to spend 5 years with the plan that, oh, after 5 years I will get into Australia and things don't work out as planned. So try other visa routes, try other countries. Some people use the UK as a stepping stone to get into Australia. If this is something you can explore or try, please make sure you do that. Like, there are a lot of people who are now moving from the UK to Australia. I feel like almost every other day somebody's messaging me, oh Dami, I'm in the UK, I'm moving to Australia next week. I'm in the UK, I'm moving to Australia next month. So it's almost like a weekly dose now. So if that is an option you can explore, please also try that one out. But wait, like trying to put yourself together for 5 years to come to Australia, I don't think is actually worth it considering your age. So that's what I would say about that. So now let's get into your questions. I believe I would be studying towards masters in accounting at about 39 years. Masters is not even a big deal here. They don't take it seriously. I will not lie to you. I have a master's and I can count how many people have a master's in my office. I know we Africans, we love to school, we love to read, we love the qualification, but it is not a big deal here. Nobody have ever asked me, tell me you have a master's, you get a higher pay. I'm getting the same pay with people who are not even qualified chartered accountants. So I think you should reassess your decision and what you plan to do. So that's that, and will take about 3 years gaining experience. When I get my payout to come there, is the accounting auditing industry open to hiring someone? See, I don't think so. I don't think so. At that age, they will expect you to have like certain experience, you know. For you to even get any job in Australia, you need, like as an auditor now, you need at least 2 to 3 years for them to be able to sponsor you in the first place. So if you're just coming here to get that experience, I don't know how that would work out, and I'm not sure of the chances available, to be honest. That's your first question. And then, what is an estimate salary of an auditor at an entry level? I think you can check out Glassdoor to see what I don't know. I don't have an idea. I didn't come in here as a graduate trainee or at entry level, but if you can check Glassdoor, I will also put the link in my description, and check for salaries. Whatever profession you're in, check Glassdoor for the salary range and what the salary is like for different occupations, and details. So I actually can see that 2 people have replied. Can you do masters and start exploring chartered accountant? You'll be in demand, and going to the UK will be a fast. You see, I've not even seen this before I said what I said earlier. Can you do masters and start exploring chartered accountant? You'll be in demand, and going to the UK will be a faster, and then you can move there to Australia. I have not seen this. This is my first time reading this, and that's one thing, like, it's good to always see the truth. This is my first time seeing this person's response, because the response will not come to me as a notification. It will go to the person they tagged. So can get the experience while studying there by making your relocation even faster. Perfect. That's just it. So another person say, as in like pursuing something like ACCA. I'm ACCA qualified as well, so if it's something you want to consider. I'm looking at my age, I don't want to spend another 4 years. Oh, she's actually the one responding to this person. Okay, sorry. As in like pursuing something like ACCA, looking at my age, I didn't want to spend another 4 years or so doing the 3 more years to qualify as a chartered accountant. Been doing a little research, maybe I got it all twisted. The masters will take me 8 years to 2 years, either in Ireland or New Zealand, then another 3 years working to qualify as a chartered accountant Ireland, on chartered accountants Australia and New Zealand, then look for 186 visa sponsored jobs. Most of that I realize that is in demand, you know. No. Do you want to send me a DM? Like, I will take my time to respond to you. Please send me a DM and send me, quote this, because I've actually stopped responding to people that ask me immigration question. I'm not even going to lie. It became overwhelming, and I feel like people don't watch my videos before they ask me questions, so it's not really helpful. I don't think this route you want to take is the best for you, considering your age and how far it's going to take you. That's just my sincere, honest opinion. So I'll leave that. I think I'll spend some more time and go to the last question. I was aiming for this video to be very short, quick, and fast, but yeah, it's what it is. So another question. Oh, I think she's the same person, but let's take it. It's the last one. Dami, however, once in a while, invite Africans or other nationalities who got there through their jobs just to get an understanding of the journey, different careers, starting with auditors through that one you've covered, maybe chartered accountant, financial analyst, etc. Then venture into others if you know of anyone through different fields. But in all, I enjoy your video. Doesn't matter the topics, always looking forward to your video, sister. Oh, thank you so much. To be honest, that's a very brilliant idea, but I don't know a lot of people. I do not know. My community is very small. The only people I know are people I met in the office. They are also auditors. We work in different big fours, like all of us, the people that are close to me. I have my very good family friend that lives just behind me here. I met him on Nairaland back in Nigeria a few years ago before I got here. He's an auditor. Oh yeah, he works in Big Four. I have Angela. She works in Big Four. I have Neha. She works in she worked in Big Four. That's how we all came here. So I don't really have those people that came on other other types of job. But now that you said it, I will be on the lookout. I will ask questions, and if you are that kind of person and want to collaborate with me, come on my video for exchange of anything, just let me know. I will really appreciate it. I think that's a very brilliant idea. But that's everything about this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for asking me all your questions, and I hope I did justice to those questions. For those who have asked me questions about immigration journey and how to migrate to Australia, watch this video. It will help you. And for the question on work-life balance in Australia, also watch this video. I believe those two videos will help you and answer your question in more detail. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment, and continue the conversation in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.